As a longtime Mac user, I love the experience, but I hate the repairability. Or complete lack thereof if we're getting technical about it. But this company, on the other hand, is the exact opposite of that, in more ways than you know. So after a long time wondering, last week I finally decided to try one of these machines for myself, and I bought a used Framework 13 laptop on Facebook Marketplace. Now this particular Framework 13 is pretty spec'd up, and based on specs alone, it could probably replace my MacBook in my workflow, all while running Linux. If you haven't had a chance to try a Framework computer yourself, this is a really cool machine, and this week of having it so far has been interesting to say the least. So today I want to talk with you guys a little bit about my 1 week experience of having a Framework 13 specifically as a Mac user. Someone who's used to polished, albeit unrepairable products that just work. And with that in mind, what it's been like using a product that's very different to that. I want to touch on the good and the bad of my week using this framework so far, and whether this computer is one that I'll actually keep. But first, if you don't know me, I'm Spencer, and I like to talk about simple living, frugality, and digital minimalism. Let's get into it. So first things first, a little bit about my machine. This framework I have in particular is pretty spec'd up. It needs more RAM, it needs a bigger SSD, and those things will come in time, but it's the main board that I'm excited about. Inside of this computer is an AMD Ryzen 9 AI HX 370 mainboard, and it's a powerful one. Now I'll be honest with you guys, I have almost no idea what the naming conventions of AMD or Intel or any of those boards mean. I just wanted to make sure that I had the best one since I was intending to use it as a replacement to my MacBook Pro. Very soon, the Framework Pro will be shipping with their Intel Ultra mainboards as an optional add-on for those, and those are going to be extremely powerful still, but at present, this is the most powerful AMD mainboard you can get for this computer. There's one stick of 16 gig DDR5 RAM in here, as well as a 256 gig SSD. Also at present, the ports that I have on this Framework 13 is one USB-C, 2 USB-A, and 1 HDMI. Personally, I don't really need 2 USB-As in this computer. I'd rather have another USB-C, but thankfully with Framework, that's something I can add later. The guy who I bought this computer from was already the second owner of it. He bought the shell itself, the chassis with I think the battery and the screen and all of that stuff inside, and then he added the higher end mainboard to it. And that's pretty much the appeal of Framework, which we'll come back to later. With all the specs out of the way, let's get into my first impressions. And the first thing that I really noticed when I saw this computer was the build quality. Before actually having the chance to get my hands on a Framework computer, my impression from reading about them online was that they're an ethical and repairable company, but they're a bit janky. But like I said, as soon as I touched this computer and opened it up, I was instantly relieved because it felt a lot better than I expected. Visually, the Framework 13 actually reminds me a lot of my old M1 MacBook Air. That's one of the computers that really got me started on this channel, and like I said, it has a very similar look and feel to the Framework 13. Same wedge-like design, aluminum, small. If you don't know Framework as a company, they're relatively new, dating back to only 2020. And I believe the Framework 13 was their first offering, which came out sometime in 2021. And since then, they've really been iterating on this computer, fixing little things, improving parts, refining the experience overall, that type of thing. But what really sets Framework apart from the competition, it's not just the repairability, even though that is one of the big things, but it's modularity. Not only can this computer be completely repaired if something goes wrong, and spoiler alert, it very well might, and we'll come back to that, but these Framework computers can also be upgraded and customized over time. So whenever new parts come out, be that main boards or batteries or speakers or displays, you don't have to replace the whole machine. You can just upgrade the parts that you want. You can even visually customize the computer to make it look the way you want, with things like different bezels and keyboards and other stuff like that. According to Framework, this model of replacing and upgrading things one piece at a time as needed, it can dramatically reduce your environmental footprint associated with your laptop. And whether or not you actually buy into that, in my view, it's just refreshing to see a company trying something different. Something that really impressed me about this computer was just how easy it was to get into. When I bought this computer, it didn't come with an SSD, and with the price of these things nowadays, I didn't have any spare ones kicking around, so I was forced to take the one out of my ThinkPad T480 and put it in here to test. Now my T480, my trusty ThinkPad, that thing is already pretty easy to get into on its own. It's really just some Phillips screws, pop some tabs, and you're in. But honestly, folks, the Framework 13 is another level still. Once you undo these Torx screws, the rest of it pretty much just releases using magnets. It's incredibly easy. And folks, once you're inside, it's a beautiful sight. I mean, you just love to see it. It's kind of like Lego for computer nerds. Everything's modular, everything's labeled, and there's QR codes everywhere. The idea here is that if something breaks with this machine, all you have to do is scan the QR code and it's going to take you to that corresponding part on Framework's website, the Framework Marketplace. And the parts for the Framework, relatively speaking, are pretty inexpensive. Definitely a lot cheaper than having to replace a full laptop if it breaks and isn't repairable. So over the past week, I've mainly just been configuring Linux, trying to customize the computer as much as I can, messing around with some settings, doing things like web browsing, trying to make the framework feel more like my MacBook Pro in some ways and even better in other ways. And honestly, folks, at this point, I just love Linux so much. Other than my video editing workflow, which still does keep me bound to my Mac, I'm no longer Linux curious, I'm converted. I love the customizability, I'm not scared of going into the terminal anymore, I just love it overall. The fact that it's open source, the fact that it can be more private, it just feels like a playground where I'm learning all the time. Whereas Apple feels much more like that reliable appliance where I don't really think about it as I use it now. Linux to me is much more about experimenting and learning things. So the framework being so Linux friendly has been a huge plus. I mean, when I got this computer, as I told you, I took the SSD out of my ThinkPad and just dropped it in here. On my ThinkPad, I was running Debian Linux with GNOME, and as soon as I put it into this computer and turned it on, it just came back to life. When I clicked on Firefox, all the tabs that I had open just came right back. And though I guess it kind of makes sense that I'm just moving one hard drive from one computer to another, and this computer is just doing the job of displaying it, it still kind of felt like magic. And partially that's just because that is not a possibility whatsoever on a Mac. With a Mac, you're locked down and you better like it. And while that works okay for doing work, for having fun and feeling like the machine actually reflects you, not so much. I will say though that coming over from a MacBook, there's definitely going to be some hardware differences that you're immediately going to notice. The Framework 13 has a 3x2 screen, which some people actually prefer for productivity because it's taller. I do think I kind of prefer the MacBook screen a little bit more to the Framework, but the size of it is nice and I like both. The speakers though are definitely worse on the Framework 13. If you've watched any videos about the Framework before or done any reading about this computer, you're probably going to know this already. Now, I have seen some people online call these the worst laptop speakers ever, and I think that's a little bit much, but out of the box, they definitely weren't good. This is another issue my T480 had. Those speakers were absolutely terrible, and these weren't much better. But here again, folks, is another thing that I just love about Linux, the customizability. I found this app people often recommended for frameworks online called Easy Effects. And basically people online have made custom speaker tuning profiles specifically for this laptop. I downloaded a custom tuning profile that one user had made for their Framework 13, and upon setting it up, I immediately noticed a huge difference. In their base configuration, the speakers are very thin and tinny sounding, and they're downward firing, which is not a plus. But thanks to this tuning profile on Easy Effects, there was some warmth and some bass that was actually able to be drawn out of these speakers, and they sound decent. I want to reiterate, still nowhere near the quality of the MacBook Pro speakers, not even close, but definitely usable.
Hey folks, Editor Spencer here, and I just wanted to add one more thing about the speakers. I've been seeing a lot of comments online, both on Reddit threads talking about the speaker quality and on Jeff Geerling's most recent video talking about the Framework 12 compared to the MacBook Neo. In that video, he talked about the speaker issues with the Framework compared to what the MacBook Neo had. I was honestly blown away by the amount of comments saying speakers in a laptop don't matter, you should be using headphones anyway, speakers are just to hear if there's any audio at all, it's not about quality. First of all, that is not how I use my laptop. I'm editing this video on my MacBook right now, and I'm using the speakers, and having good quality audio is important. Also, if you're home alone or you're watching something with someone else, don't you use the speakers built into your computer? Also, I don't know any other part of a computer where somebody would defend having a lesser quality part by saying you don't really need a better one. Like, why have a sharper screen? Why have a better trackpad? Things are working just fine the way they are. That argument is kind of weird. I think it's totally fine to say the Framework is a wonderful computer, but the speakers aren't that great and could be improved. Let me know what you think in the comments.
The trackpad experience has been pretty good too. It's not a haptic trackpad like the MacBook, and the MacBook's one is probably better, but this one's perfectly fine. Over the week, as I found myself getting more and more used to the Framework's trackpad, I actually found myself preferring it in certain instances. But honestly, the thing I like the most about the day-to-day usability of this computer was the keyboard. The keyboard actually reminds me of an earlier Apple keyboard you would have seen in their laptops like 15 years ago, and that's a good thing. Again, I'm not a huge keyboard nerd, but in my opinion, it feels like it has a pretty good amount of key travel, and it feels good to type with day to day, and that's what matters. Battery life was another place where I've been pleasantly surprised so far. Once again, people online really did a good job at lowering my expectations and made me think that the battery life on this was going to be absolutely terrible. And although I definitely will say it's not MacBook level performance, it's fine. I haven't been tracking it closely, but I'm pretty easily getting around at least 6 hours of content consumption just sitting on my couch or sitting at my desk using this computer without plugging it in and not having to worry about it. Now that's more than enough for my day-to-day use. I'm not going to be sitting at my computer for 6 hours ever, hopefully. But I haven't sat down and really pushed it hard doing something like video editing yet. And aboard a plane, sometimes I haven't been able to plug my computer in, and I am working on something like that that's more intensive, and their battery life could be more of an issue. And with that in mind, that's something I'll circle back to in a more long-term review. And now I want to get into some of the bugs and issues that I've been dealing with using the framework for the first week, because I definitely have experienced some weird little issues and stuff that I would never deal with on my MacBook Pro. The main one that's been the most annoying issue throughout the week is that sometimes when I open this computer from being asleep, from hibernating, it doesn't really come back on. The power light's on and it certainly has enough battery, but the keyboard doesn't respond and the screen stays black. Now I looked online and I found other people who did seem to have similar issues to this, specifically with these AMD frameworks, so I don't think it's just a problem with my unit. And this problem specifically has been super hit and miss, and I haven't been able to really repeat it enough times to diagnose it further. Some days it's happened multiple times and other days it's not happened at all. But the most annoying part of this issue is that the only way that I currently can remedy it is by turning the computer off and then on again, which of course means restarting whatever software and projects you are working on and reopening all your tabs on the internet. Definitely weird little issues like this that you would never run into with Mac OS. Another issue is that currently the webcam's microphone is just not working, and I haven't been able to figure out why yet. The webcam itself is working fine, and the quality is actually, again, better than I expected because people did really lower my expectations in their reviews, but I've spent a good half an hour or 45 minutes really trying to figure out this webcam microphone issue, and I can't solve it. Once again, this issue is not one that's been exclusive to me. I've read people online who have had similar problems and have been able to fix it by just ordering a replacement part from Framework and swapping it out. And folks, I think this is really where the nuance about Framework starts to come in. Because yes, Framework computers are completely repairable, and if an Apple computer breaks, unless you pay a lot of money to fix it, it's a paperweight. But as someone who's had a lot of different Apple products over the years, including recently a 2009 MacBook that I pulled out of a town dump and fired up as soon as I plugged it in, a lot of Apple products just tend to work. Over the last 15 years I've been using different Apple computers, I've only ever had one single issue, and that was over 10 years ago. So I honestly don't think the conversation's as simple as this is the only ethical option and you're a bad person if you use Apple. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that. Now, I haven't really done a deep dive into Kdenlive, especially editing on this computer, but as far as content creation is concerned, I still think Apple's got the edge. I downloaded Kdenlive, OpenShot, and Shotcut so I can try them all and see which one I like most, but I really like Final Cut and it's really daunting to switch over from anything else. Now, I do know that DaVinci Resolve is also available on Linux, but it kind of seems messy to say the least. You seem to need the paid version to access a lot of the codecs, the ones that my camera shoots specifically. Standard AAC audio, the kind of audio your phone would record, needs to be converted before you can use it. NVIDIA graphics support seems a lot better than the AMD that's in here, and it just seems like there's a lot more friction overall. And though I do talk about friction on this channel, and I like some meaningful friction in my life and my processes, video editing is somewhere where I really don't need any more. With that said, Kdenlive specifically seems like a very capable piece of open source software. And there are actually entire films that were edited fully on Linux, specifically on Kdenlive. One of the films is called Trom 2, and the filmmaker was actually in a set of forums, I believe it was the Kdenlive forums, talking about their process making this film in that open source software over a period of years. So ultimately, I do know that the possibility of editing a big project can happen on this framework, and the idea of doing so down the line excites me. So overall, folks, after 1 week with this computer, where do I land on the framework? Honestly, my hopes for this computer was that it was either going to completely disappoint me and I could just switch to my MacBook with a clear head, or that it was going to impress me so much that I'd leave my MacBook completely. But instead what happened is I really like the framework, but I still see the point on my MacBook. So for now, I see the MacBook staying in my workflow sort of as an appliance computer. The thing that I use for editing, music production, and just getting work done reliably. But the framework is going to be my playground. It's the thing where I experiment, where I toy with Linux and actually learn things. The machine that basically, aside from editing, I'm going to use for everything else. Because after a week of having this computer, a similar thing happened, which I noticed back when I first got my ThinkPad T480. With the MacBook, partially because everything's designed to work out of the box, you don't really go any further into the computer and you just use it as it's set up. But with the framework and repairability and modularity being so inherent to it and added to even further by having Linux on it, I want to learn, I want to experiment, and I want to customize it to fit my needs exactly. Had I not delved into Linux, I wouldn't have got interested in things like open source software or even Graphene OS. And as I've come to care more about open source and privacy, a repairable computer like this running Linux has become much more appealing for my main machine. I also want to say that I really like and respect what Framework's doing. Right to repair is so important, and I really want to see them succeed as a company. So tinkering with this computer, upgrading it as I see fit, and just being along for the ride makes me excited. And once again, folks, I bought this with my own money. Framework is a a company that I wanted to support. I did buy it secondhand because that's part of my personal ethics, buying stuff secondhand as much as possible. But if anything goes wrong with this computer, if I have any more issues, you're going to be the first to know about it. So thanks very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video of my first impressions using the Framework 13 laptop for 1 week as a Mac user. Let me know what you thought of this video, and if you have any experience with Framework computers yourself, down below in the comments. Thanks again for watching, folks. I appreciate you as always, and I'll see you in the next one.